Hello and welcome here on Random Rotation. I hope you're all doing well. In this video, I'd like to talk about ND or neutral density filters. More specifically, about these guys here, the moment variable ND filters. But before we start, I paid for them with my own hard-earned pocket money. So this is not a sponsored video.
Oh.
And at the time of this recording, we are talking about almost 170 US dollars each, or if you're from Europe like I am, 149 euros plus shipping. That might sound a bit much for some of you, but hey, you get some super cool filters and lifetime warranty. Not bad. Definitely not bad. With that out of the way, let's now take a closer look. The filters come in these beautiful looking and super sturdy metal tints. I like that. I always know that my filters are secure. They're not necessarily pocket-sized, but hey, if you really need to. Once you open them, you'll find a small Moment branded cleaning cloth for each filter. Nice touch. I bought the 82mm versions. That way I have the possibility to use them on any of my lenses. I just need to attach them to step down rings like these to make that work. And a set of these costs 10 to maybe 15 euros and is therefore much cheaper than having to buy the right filters for each filter diameter. Sure, there are also lenses larger than 82 out there, but I don't own such lenses, and since these filters max out at 82mm anyways, I don't need to think about that for the time being. What I really like is that I can use my lens cap on the filter. Of course, this only works as long as I use a lens with an 82mm thread. Still a nice detail that I can appreciate. And if I want to know exactly what level of ND I'm filming at, I can easily see that at the back of the filter. This one is ND4 to ND32. And the second one starts at ND64 and goes up to ND512. So I'm well covered from slightly too bright to crazy bright sunshine. Well, we all know just talking about it is only half the fun. Let's go outside and give them a try. The purpose of an ND filter is to steal light from the camera. This gives us the opportunity to work with wide open apertures and allows us to play around with the sharpness and the bokeh without overexposing the whole image. When taking a photo, you can theoretically always dial in your shutter speed to compensate brightness. But for moving images, you should not touch that at all. The rule of thumb here is shutter twice as high as the frame rate. If you are, for example, filming at 25 frames per second, make sure your shutter is at 1/50th. Otherwise, the motion blur in your shots just won't look like it's supposed to. But of course, like with most things in life, there is an exception to this rule. When you are shooting green or blue screen footage, it can be very, very, very useful to choose a shutter speed like 1/100th or even 1/200th maybe, to prevent too much motion blur, which can save tons of time in post. Cross-polarization, as it occurs on some variable ND filters, is not an issue with these. Let me show you what that means with another slightly older ND filter I had lying around. And now let's quickly take a look at the colors. These two pictures were shot under the same exact conditions. On the left, with, and on the right, without ND. White balance, ISO, and shutter speed were identical in both cases, I swear. At first glance, everything looks just fine, but if you take a closer look, you might see that the filters do give the image a slight color cast. I'm not even sure if you can see it after the YouTube compression. And it's super easy to fix, which is why I honestly don't mind, but still, I thought it's worth mentioning. So if that annoys you, you probably won't find what you're looking for in the moment NDs. But that aside, I am really happy with these filters. Good value for money, in my opinion. Thumbs up from me. And that's it for this week. I hope you liked it, and if you have any more questions, suggestions, or whatever, then let me know in the comments below. If you haven't already, consider subscribing. Why not? Stay healthy. I see you next week. Bye.